Peace, peace, peace. This your brother Monroe Jr. So this is a report I just recently came across, and two black men are found dead at the home of Democratic Party donor Ed Buck. And for the second time in less than 18 months, per this report, a young black man has died, as I stated earlier, from an overdose at the residency of Mr. Buck. Back in July of 2017, Gemmell Moore was also found dead in what was officially ruled an accident, despite reports that Moore was a sex worker and was coerced by Buck to consume the drugs to satisfy his own fetishes. Now today, January 8th, it's being reported that a second young black man has been found dead under the same circumstances, once again in Buck's home, who was present during both incidents. Thus far, the identity of the second man has not been identified, while Buck's attorney, Seymour Amster, has confirmed that Buck was not arrested and is cooperating with investigators. From what I know, it was an old friend who died of an accidental overdose, Amster, Buck's law attorney, said in a statement. And unfortunately, we believe that the substance was ingested at some place other than the apartment. The person came over intoxicated. Do y'all hear these devils? Ooh, boy. During the months that followed the fatal meth overdose in 2017, Moore's mother, Latasha Nixon, said that her son told her that Buck had injected drugs into his arms without his consent. Lord have mercy. While another sex worker came forward to reveal that Buck forced Moore to go to Santa Monica Boulevard to recruit other young gay black men with the use of drugs. Additionally, Moore reportedly wrote in a journal that Buck had hooked him on crystal meth. It seems like everyone is turning a blind eye because my son was a gay black man and Ed Buck is a wealthy white politician, Nixon said at the time, while now there is a certain to be added pressure throughout the community to hold Buck responsible. So this is just another sick scenario of, obviously the white man is gay, right? And he's coercing other black men, and like the mother of one of the young black men said that Mr. Buck gave him a shot in the arm without his consent. So he getting these allegedly, I'm assuming from these reports, he's getting these black men drugged up and I guess having sex with them. And somehow they OD and they overdosing. And so how is this guy getting off the hook? Because of his white lying lawyer, attorney, right? That's how they do. So that's why we can't trust these people, brothers and sisters. And in reality, we need to get off the drugs in totality, because we are greater than the drug. The drug is not greater than us. We are not beholden to the drug unless we allow the drug to become our master, our God. And when we allow any substance or vice to rule over us, then you give over the power that your creator granted to you, which is willpower, right? But you have to desire something to replace the desire for the substance of drugs. You have to desire something out of your time, right? Whether it's an accolade or it's something that you aspire to be. You can exercise to replace that drive for drugs. You can go read a book. You can go learn something. We have to learn how to replace those things that don't add to us, but that subtract from us. And drugs do not add to us. No matter the temporal temporary fixation that we might get, we have to come back and deal with reality, brothers and sisters. We are all gods and female gods, meaning we have force and power to overcome any impediment. The impediment is not greater than us. We are greater than the impediment, and you have to know that you are greater than the impediment. You have to first see yourself overcoming it, and then voila, being it is, you can overcome it. We can overcome anything that's hindering us from going into the greatest manifestation of ourselves, brothers and sisters. So, I mean, this is a sad report. It's sick. It's sickening. But this kind of stuff happens with our people all the time. That's why we have to overcome these vices, right? Because we could be lured into a lion's den. We could be lured into a ditch by our fixation or our desire for that which is not what our Creator desires for us. Our Creator desires peace for us. He desires success for us. He desires all of those great things for us, but we have to overcome the little things like our vices so that we can ascend into the higher, greater version of ourselves, brothers and sisters. And we can't, it's very difficult when you're functioning on a horizontal level, brothers and sisters. So I hate to hear this about our two young black men who have been killed at this devil's house somehow with his gay self. And not that I'm talking about gay people, but to stick somebody in their arm without their consent, to drug them so that you can rape them or do whatever you do, and then they end up ODing. I mean, that's wicked, man. And then you got money, so you pay an attorney to defend you in your wickedness. But see, people like this don't get away. Their cases go up into a higher judge, into a higher court, right? To a higher judge to serve them. Notice that your deeds are in this court, and you will reap what you have sown, right? Even if Mr. Buck, this white politician, doesn't get it in his lifetime, his family, someone in his bloodline or of his people will receive the reward of what Mr. Buck put on others, right? So we should never think that the evil that we do, that we're going to get away with it. No, absolutely not. It might seem that way. And the statement I made about earlier about with his gay self, not that I'm throwing down on gay people. I have nothing against gay men and women. The scriptures say all of our righteousness is like unto filthy rags in the eyes of God. So I'm not here to judge you. I respect you and your choice. I don't agree with it, because if it were not for your mother and father, you would not exist, right? So just by us honoring the Creator, we should honor the way that the Creator, the system that the Creator set up for us to come into existence, right? So, and the scripture says, for me to educate and enlighten my brothers and sisters, because, I have respect for you all, and I honor and I cherish you all. And I want to see your bloodline continue, right? And the only way that the bloodline can continue is if a male and a female, a sperm and an egg come together to produce life. That's how we were all brought into existence, with sperm and egg. So that's just a basic concept if we would be open enough to receive it. But we got to put down these drugs, brothers and sisters. We see this case here, black men out here losing their life because they luring us in with these vices. But if these brothers wasn't on them vices, or they had no interest in those vices, that these brothers possibly could still be alive, So our body is the temple of the living God. That's where God dwells. He dwells in us. He dwells in you. He dwells in me, right? There is no spook or spirit God. Everything that we see was made by a man. It comes from the mind of a man. The building or the residency that you're in right now comes out of the mind of a man. Man is God. God only means force and power. We have the force. If we develop our willpower, we can overcome any vice, brothers and sisters. So let us strive to think that we can do it, and then we will do it, God willing. But it's God all in us, and we have to tap into that God force, that God power, that God energy, and say, yes, I can. Yes, I will. It's done, right? Once you say that, it's done. You step right into it. It's not too much contemplation that's needed, right? You think it, you say, I'm going to do it, then you start to move out on your intentions, on your desire, and that gives power to your will, as we are taught by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. So let us wake up, brothers and sisters. Let us be alive. We're under attack on all angles, all avenues, all routes, all alleys, all streets. We got to be alert. And we don't want to lose our lives on no frivolity, no frivolous stuff like this. If we want to lose our lives, we want to lose it because we were fighting for the liberation of our people. We were fighting against injustice, right? We were fighting against that which is not good for ourselves, for our families, and for our communities, brothers and sisters. This your brother Monroe Jr. I'm signing off. Peace.